Now it is time for something very special, and I look forward to saying hello to Mirai Kaimas from Medtronic. Mirai, please join me on stage.
Hello, Bastian. Hi, everyone from very rainy Switzerland.
Okay, you're back at headquarters. Mirai, um, together with dedoc, we last year, Medtronic and us, we launched the Blue Balloon Challenge as a community awareness campaign slash fundraiser, and it's coming back. It just launched now. You had a sneak preview at EASD for the healthcare professionals. It has launched quietly on social media, actually not so quietly, starting Monday, and this is now the big boom. We're going out there, you're going out there. Tell us a little bit about Blue Balloon Challenge last year and this year, and why you're doing this, what you are doing, and what it's all about.
Yeah, so last year was a lot of experimentation that we did together with the dedoc community and the Medtronic team. So we have launched our diabetes awareness campaign, the Blue Balloon campaign, first time last year. We didn't really know how much attention that this campaign would get, and somehow we have seen an amazing solidarity from the community, very, very positive feedback, and we were very happy to see that. There was a generous support from the entire diabetes community to give visibility to this campaign, share, post, and somehow make this a true community initiative. So last year was very special year for us. We were very happy to see that that analogy of blue balloon really explains in a very simple way what it is to live with type 1 diabetes to outside of the diabetes community with a small illustration. So we are very happy that we are coming back with the blue balloon this year. This year is slightly different, right? Because this year we are coming with a lot of learnings. We got a lot of feedback actually from the DDoC community in terms of how we can do it different and better moving forward. And actually, the feedback was do more of the same, but do it better based on the learnings of last year. So we have done a new campaign film, which I believe we are going to show soon, right? And that campaign, I'm so happy and so proud to say that I consider this as a co-development, co-creation between Medtronic and the DDoC community. We have done our best to implement all the feedback we have received. So I hope some of you that have seen the last year's campaign can see some improvements and differences.
Many of the leader community, many of our voices, and also others that we had asked for feedback off record kind of have contributed to that. And I think, Mirai, before we continue discussing it, let's just start with showing the movie, because there may be people out here watching who were not aware of what was happening last year and haven't seen it on social media yet. So,
Yes.
Hanne, if you could start the Blue Balloon Challenge film, and then we'll continue to talk about it.
Living with type 1 diabetes is like doing everything in your daily life while keeping a balloon in the air. It's a constant balancing act. Stepping out into the world can be challenging. Sometimes draining, sometimes lonely. It's an invisible condition that isn't always easy to explain, even for us. Sometimes we need the support and guidance of others. We all have our own ways of keeping our balloons in the air. Join the Blue Balloon Challenge, and for every post, Medtronic will donate €5 to the Life for a Child organisation to provide insulin for children living with diabetes.
I hope those of you that gave the feedback could spot some differences, right, versus the last year.
I love that movie so much, Mirai, because it feels so real. Last year's movie was amazing, but it was very shiny and almost too happy. And
Yes.
that was a lot of the feedback that came, right? It was like, make it more tangible, make it more real, also show the burden of living with diabetes without going too down, but keep the blue balloon and keep the fundraiser for Life for a Child and keep this moment of, you know, doing the challenge, sharing, and then you will be supporting Life for a Child. I think it has turned out wonderful, and I will not be able to bring in all the comments, but I will, while maybe you talk a little bit more about the background, the reasoning behind. You see here, amazing, tears in my eyes, very well done. There's a lot more.
Yeah, my eyes are shifting to the comments as I look at you at the same time. Well, this year, as you said, we have put a lot of efforts in bringing bigger diversity in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of many other angle, because type 1 diabetes is not only for young and fit people, right? It is for everybody. At the same time, as you said, we have tried to add that illustration of downside of diabetes as well. It's not diabetes is diabetes. So last year's movie probably was a little too polished. And coming back to sharing really the realities around diabetes and real stories, we will have continuation of this campaign in World Diabetes Day, where we want to share real stories of people living with diabetes with the right depth. It's beyond the metaphor. There is so much depth in those stories that we would like to give it a space in our campaign.
And this is why you're here today. These real stories can be yours. So if you're watching, what
Yes.
Medtronic, what we as dedoc are asking from you is, it's quite simple. Take a blue balloon, or use the Instagram filter, which will bring a blue balloon into your Instagram story while you just make a gesture, and then suddenly there appears a magic blue balloon in the picture. And take a picture of yourself, take a video of yourself, share it on social media, share it on Instagram, or if you take a real blue balloon, share it on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you are, and put the hashtag Blue Balloon Challenge and tag Medtronic. And for every time that you do this, two things will happen. Both the Medtronic team and our dedoc social media team, we will monitor all these posts. We will collect them, reshare them, collate them into collages on our accounts, because we might then reach out to you later on to bring you back for World Diabetes Day. Because on World Diabetes Day, we want to celebrate how the community comes together and shares how living with diabetes symbolized through this blue balloon that you have to balance 24/7, like we balance the diabetes, how you have, what's your creative side, how you show this. But the other thing that Medtronic is doing is, every time you do this, and Mirai, I say this right, I mean, you mean every time. So you can do 3 posts a day, you can do 20 posts over the next 2 months. Every time you share a picture with a blue balloon, the hashtag and the tag, Medtronic will donate €5 to Life for a Child to help children with diabetes in some of the most struggling countries around the world, which I think is amazing that it is creating awareness, but also serving as a fundraiser for this amazing organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. So don't think that once you share it one time, all your followers and your network will remember. You know how much we get exposed online today. So multiple times it needs to be shared to make sure that people really memorize and remember. So every post counts, and I am very, very appreciative to the support we had been receiving so far. And I'm looking forward to another great awareness campaign together.
Now we have to put a little asterisk there. I know that you have put a cap on it at, I think, €100,000, which is, I mean, that would mean that we get 20,000 posts out there in the next 6 weeks or so. But Mirai, I have to warn you, this is not unrealistic. Don't underestimate the power of this community, especially once the people who are here live and those joining on Instagram start sharing, and it creates this cascading effect. We were
want to be challenged. We are open to be challenged.
And maybe if we get to 30,000, you'll have to dig deeper in your budgets and see what else.
Exactly. I need to go creative in finding, but if we exceed that threshold, we will find a way to recognize the incremental voice that the community is raising.
Now, we were supposed to be joined by Ines right now. Ines is the girl in the movie that does the TikTok or Instagram video there, actually. And she was supposed to explain a little bit more about how this works, but it's really as easy as I just said. You take a picture, either with a blue balloon or with the Instagram filter, you post it with the correct hashtag and tags, and that's it. That will trigger a donation, and we will see it and maybe come back to you for World Diabetes Day. But Mirai, I also want you to talk a little bit about how you made this movie, because there's another thing I thought was very, very special, was also partly founded on feedback. Some of the people, quite a few of the people actually that we see in this video are real in terms of they're not actors. They are people living with diabetes. I think that is important to point out here.
Absolutely. So when filming a campaign movie, you need still a simple acting skills, and we were so lucky to find a lot of people living with diabetes that also had those acting skills. So you will see in the movie there is a young girl that is in the leading scene, and at the end scene, it's a real family. She's living with type 1 diabetes, and I saw a few days ago her father was also sharing the movie for to recognize how much efforts that it takes to manage her daughter's diabetes. We have Ines, as you said, in one of the scenes. You will see a gentleman in an HCP scene. He had a niece living with type 1 diabetes. Unfortunately, she has died, and it was such a special moment for him to be part of this campaign and the entire family. We have paramedics that is supporting people living with diabetes in this video. The cameraman was living with type 1 diabetes, the lady who was preparing our food. And it wasn't, some of them had not been planned. It was not planned that the cameraman was with type 1 diabetes. It was not planned that the lady who was helping us with the food and all logistics was living with diabetes. This shows how common and the fact that it is everywhere, and we need to raise awareness. It was, for me, it was very, very special experience to be there on the site in the film and see that it's not professional actors, actresses, it's the real people living with diabetes who made that movie.
Mirai, thank you very much. And for everybody who's getting excited now, you can find all the information on Medtronic's page, blueballoonchallenge.com, on dedoc's page, blueballoonchallenge.org. And a little extra, if you don't have a blue balloon, you can probably find it in a kiosk somewhere, but if you don't have one, we will send you one. There's a form you fill out, and dedoc will send you an envelope with 2 balloons in it, and you can use those if you want real pictures. Even easier is you do it on Instagram with that filter that Medtronic is providing. Mirai, I think you will see a lot of people taking part between now and World Diabetes Day. Thank you very much.
Looking forward to. Thank you, Bastian, and big thanks to the entire dedoc community for everything you do and the big support that you had been providing to us.